I hope everyone can find me. I'm sorry about the technological issue. Hey Mara, I'm glad you found me. Oh Lord, what a mess. Even after I restarted it, it did that thing again where it told me the orientation was wrong. And so I had to like restart it again. Okay, so you are next, Mara. I just, yeah, I'm so sorry about that. I hope that Summer Girl is able to find me. Sharon, I don't know if you were trying to speak to me during your reading and I just couldn't see it, but I do want to just touch base with you before I move on to the next person. I asked, I'm healing from a past relationship to let it go, how to do that. Okay. Well, let me just follow up with her on that, Mara, first. But I hope you were able to hear the rest of what I said. If not, it starts at like the 1 hour and 11 minutes in, somewhere around there in the other video, where I started to give your reading. I'm healing from a past relationship to let it go, how to do that. I'm glad you all were able to find the restarted live stream. I don't know why this keeps happening lately. It's frustrating to me. Oh well, this is life, I guess. All right, what does Sharon need to know about this moving on? Okay. They're saying, first of all, empower yourself by trying to find someone who is different from this person from the past. Empower yourself by looking for someone who is actually different from the past person. And anyway, this is the best way to start a new energy, is that, I mean, they're reinforcing this, like, where the Six of Pentacles reversed and now the Six of Swords. It's like, so I guess they're saying, like, there could be a part of you that wants to revisit the previous person through finding someone who shares similar qualities to that person in some kind of way. But they're saying if you do that, you will always block yourself from being able to start a new era, a new energy. Yeah, it isn't Mercury retrograde, or are you saying isn't it? I think it might be. But I think this was happening even before the Mercury retrograde. I mean, maybe we were in the shadow. Yeah, okay, does that make sense? Yeah, look for someone who's different. I think it is. Yeah, I think it is. The Mercury retrograde. Okay, and Mara, I think you typed your question in the other live stream, but I don't have access to it. And we all know by now my memory is crap. So tell me again what your question is. Sharon, I hope that you felt like you got all of your questions answered. Before I move on, let's make sure. And then Mara, and then that summer girl. I hope that summer girl can find my new stream as well. Okay, what do I need to hear right now? Just to like basic open, what do I need to hear? All right. Well, I really hope that summer girl finds this, or if not, that she sends me an email or something. Like, this is why it bothers me, because like, I'm not trying to be petty, but YouTube takes a, you know, like a kind of significant percentage of the payments that I get, and it's like they're not doing a very good job, you know what I mean? And it's like, it just makes it more difficult for everyone. Like, I don't want anyone to not get their reading that they've paid for. All right. Hello, Miroslava. Okay, starting the timer for Mara. What does... Okay, that summer girl. Thank you. I'm starting Mara's now, and you're going to be next. Thank you so much for being patient, and I'm glad you were able to find the new live stream. It was just a technological glitch, which keeps happening on the YouTube lives. I really appreciate everyone's patience. All right, so Mara, what do you need to know? We have the Prince of Wands, the Six of Cups, and so this is where we're starting off. So I'm just going to ask, is this Prince of Swords, is this Mara's energy or someone else's? Is this someone else's energy? A connection that you have? Is this a romantic connection or no? It's not a romantic connection. Is it like a friend? No. Is it family? Okay, so we're talking about someone in your family. Is it a sibling? No. Is it someone around the same age as her or older? It's someone older than you in your family. Is this male or female? And it's a female, I feel like more likely female, or at least someone who's more feminine, even though this card representing them is the Prince of Wands. So an older female relative, of some kind. Okay. I feel like, I mean, you can let me know if this is making sense, but it feels like there's some sort of estrangement with this person, and it's like a mutual estrangement almost, because your energy is the Queen of Swords, theirs is the Death card. So it's almost like both of you have cut each other off. Like there's been sort of an ending or a very definite pause. It could be your cousin. Okay. So what are you wanting Mara to know about this? So this person has really released you in their mind and heart. And they're kind of like, it's almost like when you do a cord cutting, you just let go of all that connected you to that person and you go about your life. Like they are going about their life. And I guess for them, it has been a healing process. I feel that on your end, there might be more of still an attachment because you're coming through as the King of Wands and the Ace of Cups. Is that correct? Yeah, like, I mean, obviously, like I said, it seems like a mutual estrangement. So you both may be kind of like basically wanting to cut off this relationship, but it feels like on your end, there's still more of a desire to remain, like to say, well, maybe we could, you know, repair this somehow, right? Because there's love here. And, but I also feel like with the King of Wands, it's weird because I feel like we haven't had any drama, just kind of drifted apart and got busy. Well, if it's not estrangement, then it's, I don't know. I mean, it could be someone else as well. But in either case, like she's going about her life. Like she isn't, whoever this person is, this older female relative, they're not yearning to come back together with you, right? They're not really, that's not their focus. They're just out here living their best life, basically. But in any case, it feels to me like there's more of an interest on your side of like, well, maybe we could, again, get more involved in each other's lives or something. So this is sort of setting the stage for what's going on. So I'm trying to figure out why your spirit guides are wanting to bring this up. I kind of feel like the guidance is to be patient with the changes that are happening between you and this person. Be patient with the changes. So is it estrangement then or no? To me, it feels like it is estrangement though. Like when I ask if it's estrangement. So the cousin that Mara is thinking of, is that the correct person or no? That is not the correct person. It's, I mean, is there anyone you have more of an estrangement with? Like you're just like, really like, I don't, either had an argument or a parting of ways? Because I don't think it's this cousin that you mentioned. But regardless, what they're telling you to do is to be patient with the changes that are happening between you and this person. And part of that patience is really letting go more thoroughly yourself so that you can also like lean into your own life and to feel free to do that. Like your life is your life. This person isn't thinking about like trying to come in and mess up your life or anything like that. So if you're worried about that, it doesn't feel like that is what's happening. When I tried to ask like who it was. That's what I got, was family. So, I mean, if you ask the same question multiple times, you don't get a clearer answer, you get a muddier answer. So listen, I'm not omniscient. I'm just telling you what I'm getting here. You said, what do I need to hear? If there is someone that you have an estrangement with, maybe it's about that person, but to me, it's the cards are saying that it's family. If it's not a helpful message, I don't know what to tell you. I'm just doing my best here. But like to be patient with the changes. There's a lot here of you like having ownership of your own life. We have lots of fire energy with the Strength card and the King of Wands, which also showed up before. I kind of feel like it's time to focus on living your own life. It's time to focus on living your own life. I mean, I feel like that's basically, if you have any other questions, like if this is not useful, you still have 2 minutes left. I want you to get a useful reading, but you know, all I can do is deliver the message that I'm getting. Be patient with the changes that are happening in this connection. Okay, well, if you're trying to distance yourself from family, then that would be what we're talking about. It seems like the family that you are trying to distance yourself from, it's easier for them to distance themselves. You know, you might have more of an emotional attachment, and it's harder for you because you're like, wow, I wish actually that things were better, but I also still do want to distance myself. But anyway, what your spirit guides are saying is that you also have to focus on your own life and like not really be thinking about what they're doing. Like, stay focused on your life. Don't think about what they're doing. And also, they don't seem to be really too invested in trying to interfere in your life either, which is good because you don't really need that. You need to be living your own life. But to be patient with the changes, they're saying. Aw, thank you, Wilk. That's very kind. Yeah, because I do feel like for you, it is very difficult to come to full peace with the fact that there are these troubled waters. And I feel like your spirit guides, they're not saying that that's wrong. They're saying like, you know what, that's how you feel. For you, you would prefer if there was harmony here. You would prefer if these relationships could be more healed at the same time as you are seeking distance from them. But, okay, we've got like 10 seconds left. They're saying have patience. I think they're basically saying, you know, like maybe someday that could happen. Like it's not out of the question that there could be healing and harmony found with these people in the future. But for now, you got to kind of let it go. Let it go for now and like make your own way in life. So anyway, I hope that was helpful, Mara. Okay, so that summer girl, let me know, Mara, how you're feeling about that. And then I'll go on to that summer girl. You're very welcome. Thank you for all of your patience. That required a lot of patience as I was like stumbling through that. And also for having to restart the live stream and everything. All right, that summer girl, let me scroll back and see what you were asking. What's not in love? No one on my mind, but open to love. Or what's next in love? Okay. What's next in love? Okay, Jaded Kate is next. Let me put you down here. All right, right now we're doing that summer girl. What's next in love? What's next in love? I'm going to give the cards a good shuffle first before we start the timer for that summer girl. Okay, starting the timer. What's next in love? That summer girl. We had, well, I mean, I think it's like self-love, first of all. Like, we have the Nine of Pentacles, first card out of the deck. And the Nine of Pentacles is a card about enjoying, you know, time to ourselves. Like, so, I mean, if you're single, which I think you said that you were, this is about like enjoying being single, the enjoyment of the single life, and self-love, self-appreciation. Yeah, I mean, we get the Hanged Man, the Page of Pentacles, and the Nine of Wands. So it does feel like, you know, I don't see you like rapidly moving into some new phase of a romantic life or anything like that. It feels like, you know, because the Hanged Man is like we're kind of in stasis where we are. I love the metaphor of a butterfly in the cocoon, or the caterpillar in the cocoon. The Hanged Man card doesn't normally make me think of that, but just now it did make me think of, like, have you ever seen a cocoon hanging from a tree limb or something? This is what this Hanged Man card is making me think of as well. Like, so we're in stasis, you know, like this period that you're in, you're going to be in it for a while because it is sort of shaping you. So being single, not really involved with anyone, it does feel that's what's going to continue to be for a while, and there's a reason for that, you know, just like there's a reason for the caterpillar to be inside of the cocoon. Like, there will be a new phase after that, but this phase is going to happen for a while. I do feel like, and we'll look at the timing of this, like how much longer is she going to be in the cocoon. But when you come out of the cocoon, it will be a little startling at first, because I do see something new that will happen after that cocoon period. So we'll look more into what that is and how long it is until we get there. Whoever's leaving the hearts, thank you so much. It's so sweet. I'm not used to seeing that in my live streams. Okay. Yeah, it's like, you know, when a butterfly, I wrote a poem about this once. When a butterfly comes out of the cocoon, can you imagine after being in that cocoon for so long, it comes out and like its entire self is different. The world is different. It's like it hasn't seen the light in so long. And it's like, thank you for the hearts. And it's like, then it's going to be blinded by the sun. And then it's like it sees its wings. It's blinded by its own splendor. That's kind of what this Nine of Wands reminds me of. That when you do come into a new, very different phase of your love life after this cocoon period, it will be a little bit startling at first, but it's like the startling of having become a butterfly in some sense. So we'll kind of see what these metaphors mean. Okay, so first of all, how much longer is this cocoon period where she's in this Nine of Pentacles, still like self-love, appreciation, self-appreciation? Is it 3 months or longer? It's longer. Is it 6 months or longer? It's longer than 6 months. So that's why I'm saying it's going to be around for a while. Is it 8 months or longer? So it could be around 8 more months. Maybe 7, 8 more months of this single life cocoon period. 7 to 8 more months of that. And then what's coming next? Because it feels like there is a definite new phase, like the butterfly emerging from the cocoon. Oh my, what, the what? I was shuffling the deck and I'm like, what is the new phase? What do you see that I pulled? The Hanged Man and the Nine of Pentacles. Now, why would that be the new phase? You're the same person. What is different about it? So what's different about it? Huh. So we have the Justice card reversed and the Three of Wands reversed. Is there a love option that she decides not to take? Yeah, it's like, I feel like in 7 to 8 months there might be a love option, but you're like, no, I think I prefer to stay single or something. Like, I like being in this cocoon. Wow, this is very, very strange. Like, I mean, you heard me shuffling, right? And then I pulled those cards again. For the new phase, when you're coming out of the cocoon, we get the cocoon again. You're choosing to stay in the cocoon even though you could come out. What do your spirit guides have to say about that? Girl, listen. We have the Knight of Cups, and on this deck, first of all, it's funny that there are all these heart bubbles here, you know, because you've been sending me heart bubbles, but underneath this Knight of Cups, which is about love and romance, we have these sharks, so that's something that's unique. This sounds like me. Yeah, I can relate as well, but like underneath this Knight of Cups, which has to do with embracing romantic love, right? We have these sharks, so it's like, I feel like your spirit guides are saying, listen, are you scared to come out of the cocoon? What do you think happens to a butterfly if it's time to emerge from the cocoon and it doesn't come out of the cocoon? I mean, it can't survive in the cocoon forever. It's not going to survive forever when it comes out either, you know what I mean? But that's not really what's supposed to happen. It feels like maybe you're afraid of potential danger. There's a fear of romantic love at some level that is keeping you from this, is it a metamorphosis? Or, but it's keeping you from transcending to a different state, you know, and it's not to say that being single is a bad state of being. So when I say transcend, I don't mean like it's necessarily better, but like it's a different state that butterflies are not better than caterpillars, right? They're different. It's a different experience, but like what's holding you back from moving into that, it sounds like, is probably your own fear of romantic love. I think for you, it does have to do with like choosing someone you can be with that allows you to feel free, you know, like, because there is a part of you that just wants to be free. We have the Full card, we have the King of Swords, we have the Knight of Wands. So this is like someone who's like, I don't want to feel overly restricted or suffocated by love. You know, if I'm in a relationship, I need to still be able to move on my own terms, right? I don't want to be suffocated. I don't want to be caged. But they're saying like you can find that. You don't have to be so scared of love and assume that every like love situation is going to end up caging you. The advice is like to be willing to jump off the diving board, to be willing to jump out of the cocoon. You don't have to. You have free will. But yeah, I mean you can definitely choose to just continue on as you've been. But you can also choose to try something new that challenges you a bit. So I'm asking, what is her choice if she continues where she is? It's kind of like riding the fence energy with this Two of Pentacles. Like this kind of like, I kind of want love, but also I'm not sure if I'm ready, you know. But if you just go ahead and jump off the diving board, like, you're going to be good at it. Like, I do feel like you will find a quality person to develop something with romantically. We have the Eight of Pentacles here. Someone you feel very natural with and at ease with. It's not someone who's going to suffocate you. It's someone who understands that you are trying to cultivate yourself, and like you have other things that you're interested in too, you know, like you don't want all of your focus to be on them. So it's kind of up to you to make that change. Here we have a butterfly, right? You have to be willing to jump off the diving board. If you don't, that's fine. I'm not saying you have to be if it's a requirement, but like, if you want something different, if you truly do want something different, then yes, you would have to. All right, so we've got a little less than a minute. If you have any final burning desires, go ahead and ask for those. And then we'll move on to Jaded Kate. If anyone else wants to get in line, you're feel free to do so. So someone will come in around September or October, but if I don't change my ways, yeah, it has to do with you. Are you willing to choose when that opportunity presents itself? Right. It feels like you're kind of like sidestepping the offer in some way. So this is like when I talk about predictions, this is just letting you know, like, are you going to be prepared? What do you want to do when that comes about? Like, this is a choose your own adventure, right? There is the possibility, strong possibility, you're going to choose to stay on the same path. But when another path presents itself, a romantic option, you could choose that path, right? Choose your own adventure. But yeah, that is the gist of it. All right, so next up is Jaded Kate. And let's see here what you had said. I'm going to a festival this summer. If Ilja and me were to meet there, how would it go? Okay. Let's see. What kind of a festival is it? Because I'm feeling called, the reason I ask is I'm feeling called to use the Edgar Allan Poe deck, and so I'm wondering, like, if there's something gothic or emo, or like people who are embracing, like, you know, because Edgar Allan Poe was sort of, it is gothic? Oh, that's fun. Oh, metal. Oh, like gothic metal or something? That's interesting. Thank you, that's Summer Girl. I appreciate you as well. Like, it's in heart bubbles. Here are heart bubbles back at you. Okay, so Ilja and you. That is funny that the deck is telling us something about the type of music. That is so interesting. Okay, some acts are gothic, so that makes sense. Yeah. Okay, let's see. Okay, if you were to meet there, how would it go? All right, let me wet my whistle real quick. Oh, also Ilja plays in a gothic band. Is that like, Ilja to me sounds like a name that would be, now I don't want to show my ignorance right now. I am actually, like, in my DNA, I have a little bit of like Norwegian and Finnish, but I don't have any connection to that part of my culture. But like, Ilja to me sounds like it could be like roughly from that part of the world. Oh, it is Finnish. Okay. Yeah, because like I have a vague awareness, well, because of like Eurovision and all that, like I think that those, like, isn't like gothic metal, it's like more, isn't it like kind of more prominent in that part of the world? I don't know. Like in the US, it's very like pop music, but I guess Eurovision is pop music too, but they get more gothic. I don't know. I'm just rambling now. Yeah. I have just a sprinkling of Finnish and Norwegian in me. Mostly English, Irish, and Welsh. And then I have like a 17% chunk of French. So, which shocked me. I had no idea. Yeah, Finland and Norway are very known for metal. Intriguing. I'm not very interested in metal myself, so I don't have enough of the DNA, I guess. I'm not against it, but I don't know. All right, but that is interesting that the deck was speaking to that. Okay, let me stop rambling and start the timer. Okay, so how's it going to be if they meet at this festival? Ilja and Kate. Well, I think it's going to be pretty nice. I have Ilja's energy coming through as the magician. So that is interesting to me, like, because it's kind of giving the vibes, because you said he has his own gothic band. Like, I do feel like he might be looking to network. Like, I know we're asking about how it will be with the two of you, but I'm just getting his overall energy. He's really excited to be there. He's interested in, he's interested in it from, like, I guess a professional standpoint as well, because he makes this type of music, like networking and like learning from other musicians, kind of like being exposed to what other people are doing, getting ideas, insights, inspiration. So I do feel like that will be taking some of his focus, and so that's just something to know. Like, I think also you are going to be having the time of your life with the World card, but I like the shared energy is the Queen of Swords. So it's like both of you have a lot going on that's going to keep you occupied. So it doesn't feel like you're tied at each other's hip. You're both having a great time though. That like so when they do see each other, like what's that going to be like, the moments when they are seeing each other? Because it feels like there will be, there might be like a good portion of the time when you're both doing your own thing, basically. But when you are around each other, it does feel like kind of passionate. His energy is the Ace of Wands. Yours is the King of Wands. The shared energy is the Wheel of Fortune. It feels like you all are really, like the chemistry is coming through very strongly. Yeah, I would say the chemistry is coming through very strongly. Let me see here. I do feel like with this King of Wands, like you're going to feel very confident to approach him. It's not that he's not like also approaching you or something, but it feels like there's a lot of confidence coming through on your end. Okay, what else should she know about this festival? I will just say, like, I think primarily he is interested in this from the standpoint of music making, or like being someone who's making, like from a career perspective, I guess, basically. Like I feel like he's open to having kind of like date-like experiences with you there. He is, but like I feel like his priority is more to business. And so I guess it's just saying, like, that's probably just something that you would have to understand, and I feel like you would understand that. But I'll also, like, if it comes across at sometimes that he's busy, it's just because that is what his focus is. So I don't know, we have like more than 6 minutes remaining. I don't know if you wanted to ask any other specific questions about that, or if you wanted to move on to something else. Thank you. People are being so kind today with the hearts. In other readings, it keeps coming up that he wants kids, okay? Are you wanting me to see what I get about that? What is Ilja's thoughts about having kids? Well, I do feel like, so we have the Strength card, we have the Four of Wands, and we have the Eight of Pentacles. I would say, like, he is attracted, he wants to be a father. That's like more what this Eight of Pentacles is kind of giving me. Like, having kids is what would make him a father, but it's like, thank you, Debbie. But it's like he wants to prove himself as a father. Like, I do feel like he wants to take on that role. So I think that's the drive towards it. I don't know if that makes sense. Like, obviously, having kids is what would cause him to become a father, but like, he wants to wear that hat, right? He wants to be a father. And with you specifically, I do get the Strength card, and it is making me feel like he does feel like you're someone that he could take that journey with, like, but I do feel like he would want to be strong the strong role model or the strong person, like almost the person for you to lean on. Like I'm trying to figure out the words to express this. Like, he envisions himself being like the cornerstone of his own family unit. Like, he cares very much about that. Like, this idea of the father being, I don't know how else to say it, but like the cornerstone of the family. You know, people are depending on him as the father. He likes that. He is drawn to that. And he does feel like you would compliment him in that role. So I think he's feeling like you are a very smart woman, but I think he also feels like you may not be the type of woman who would readily go into having children or like readily going to having parenthood. And so I think that's why he feels like maybe he would be needing to be in more of the leadership role. Not that you wouldn't be good at it, but that maybe you're not the one who would naturally, because a lot of times it is more the woman who's like pushing for kids, you know what I mean? You know, what, whether he's right or wrong, like this is what I'm getting. He sees you like you're very intelligent. He knows that you would make a great mother, but he also feels like maybe it's not like your own natural inclination necessarily to choose that path for yourself. I hope that makes sense. It's sort of like, I can lead the way for you. I can help you to see how this is a path that you would be good at. Yeah, we had the Wheel of Fortune. Like, this is an opportunity that we can take. All right, so I hope that's helpful. We still have like 2 minutes left. Have you told him that you would love to have children? I mean, again, like I said, this is his perception of you. That you wouldn't necessarily. Does he have any doubts about you, that you would love to? Yeah, I mean, basically it's what I've already said. He feels that you might need more of a leading hand, like someone to take your hand and lead you into it. But you've already told him. I mean, sometimes even despite what we're saying to people, people can feel that maybe, you know, that you're just saying what you want them to hear or whatever. Or have you ever heard someone talk about themselves and you're like, wow, this person, they're saying this about themselves. They might even believe it's true, but I'm not really sure that that is actually how this person is. You know, this is not a judgment of you, and I don't think he judges you for it, but he's just like, like when I was an undergrad in college, I really thought that I wanted to be a mom and it was the most important thing to me. But like, clearly if I'd wanted it that badly, I would have made it happen, right? I'm 44 now. And I guess that like he's seeing that there might be more hesitation, that he might have to pull you along or lead you into it more. It's not that he feels like you wouldn't do it, and he does feel like you would be a good mother, but that maybe you would, you'd have to be given the right opportunity, right? That's just how he's seeing it. It doesn't mean that his perspective is the correct one. You might be the one who's more correct about it, but like, this is just how he's reading you. All right, so the timer's going off. We don't have anyone else in line. But yeah, So if you have any final thoughts, I'll be glad. Jaded Kate. There's nobody waiting. If anybody still wants a reading, just let me know. Oh, Mystic Panda. Hey, Lima here. Could I get a message on the month ahead? Oh, you're 41 already? Well, there's still time, you know, like... okay. See, and that's what, like, if you're 41 and you haven't had kids, maybe that's what's making him think that, like, you know, right? And again, that doesn't mean that he's right to assume that, but... Right, and I think that's what he kind of senses, like you would, yeah, like you would need the right opportunity. You're not someone who's like, I want kids so badly that I would just like, well, I'll take, you know, like a mediocre relationship. Like lots of people do that, like, you know, they're like, well, this relationship is good enough, let me go ahead and start my family. He does feel that you're not the type to do that. Okay, Mystic Panda, let me see. I feel like the Everyday Witch Tarot is wanting to come out for you. Yeah. I get that. For sure. And he gets that, so... Okay, so... What was it again? Could I get a message on the month ahead? I'm starting to keep having to itch my nose. Hand sanitizer. Not that my nose is dirty, but you know. Okay. All right, Lima, aka Mystic Panda. Whoops. Month ahead. You're very welcome. Okay, I have not started the timer yet. I'm just trying to reset my energy before I jump in. Well, I was going to use the Everyday Witch, but now I'm feeling like the Rider-Waite. I don't know. So we'll do the Rider-Waite. Okay, what's the month ahead for Lima, aka Mystic Panda 2112? Well, thank you. That's very sweet. I'm shuffling now. What is happening in the month ahead? We have the Queen of Cups, so it does feel something about your emotions being engaged. What does this mean? Queen of Cups clarified by the Nine of Wands, the Six of Pentacles, and the Four of Cups. I'm going to take my time since you're giving me permission here. If we need to go over 10 minutes, we will. But I just want to make sure I understand what your spirit guides are saying before I try to... Sometimes I feel a little bit more uncertain of what's happening here. So in the month ahead... I mean, the first thing I'm getting is that you're emotionally invested in life, so that's good. But what does that mean? Okay, I think what your spirit guides are saying is that, you know, as is the case in life, things are not going to just be constantly easy breezy. Everything's coming up roses. I don't see any disaster either in the coming month, but it does feel like, you know, it's like some days are diamonds, some days are rocks, to quote Tom Petty, and like sometimes our efforts seem to be rewarded, sometimes not so much. But what it feels like to me is, despite that, you're like you're maintaining a sort of vision for yourself in a way. Like your heart there's a good connection between your head and your heart. Oh, that's interesting. The head-heart connection, which is actually very good, because when our head and heart are aligned, we're so much better at managing life and manifesting. And that's what feels like is happening here. Like your head and heart are aligned because you are choosing to kind of like not give up and be tenacious and believe in yourself, even if like every day things are not necessarily coming up roses, right? Like you're still willing to see like, well, that's fine. Like my ship will come in when it's meant to come in, or like some days my ship will come in and other days my ship will not come in, right? Like there's just a feeling of like, I'm not going to give up, even if it's not constantly smooth sailing, which is very kudos to you for that attitude. Sometimes it's easy to feel like we want to give up when things are not just smooth sailing, right? So that's the first thing. It's more about what I see in your attitude and your approach to life. I hope you all can still hear me. So can someone leave a comment? Because it keeps happening that YouTube does this, and I just want to make sure. All right. Or like in the live chat, a comment. Okay, thank you so much. Yeah, I don't know. I just keep getting that same, like, you know, despite the fact that things might seem uncertain at times, you are certain of yourself. It's like, well, the circumstances may not be certain, but I believe in myself, and I know that I'm capable of continuing the course and, you know, getting to where I want to be, right? So it's like you're kind of taking life in stride. Okay, you're invested listening closely. Well, that's very good. So I kind of keep getting the same thing though. Like you're taking life in stride. You're not giving up. You're persevering. You're being kind of like dedicated to your path, and I think that that's very commendable. Like sometimes people, or like a lot of times people feel like, well, is it even worth my time? You know what I mean? And like, I feel like you are not having that attitude. You're being more optimistic. You're being kind of realistic, actually. Like, yeah, of course it's worth my time to continue to persevere, even if things feel uncertain, right? Like with the Two of Pentacles, you know what it's making me think of? It's making me think of like day traders who like want an immediate return on their investment, versus someone who invests in something and like lets it sit for a long time to gain value. Like understanding that we can't always have an immediate return. Like sometimes life in general, I'm just using this as a metaphor, life doesn't work that way. It can sometimes, we can get immediate rewards, but like a lot of times we have to stay the course despite there being setbacks, or like we're not really seeing, you know, the outcomes that we're seeking happening quite yet. But like, so you're very plucky is what I see over. So what else should we say? We've got like 4 minutes also. So if you have other specific questions, please chime in. Anything else about the next month? I mean, I feel like that's, I'm getting a strong no, so I feel like that's most of what your spirit guides are wanting to say. And also we have some repeat cards here, which are reminding me again, like you have a very strong head-heart connection. I'm not really very good at explaining what that means, the head-heart connection, but if you Google it, maybe you can find people who are better at explaining it than I am. It says nobody is watching. It says we've got 0 viewers, so I don't know. But yeah, the head-heart connection. I just know that there's a saying from White Buffalo Calf Woman from the Lakota tribe. She's almost like a goddess. Like, I don't know if that they would use the word goddess, but it's like that energy, like in the way that she, how her energy presents itself to the Lakota or to any of us who can access her energy. But White Buffalo Calf Woman has a saying, and I can't quote it because my memory is awful. But it has something to do also with the head-heart connection. And I love whenever I come across that quote because it almost helps to align me in my understanding. So if you could look that up as well. White Buffalo Calf Woman head-heart connection quote, maybe. Oh, thank you, that Summer Girl. It's very sweet. But yeah, it's something about when our head and our heart are aligned. It has to do with basically being able to manifest our lives better. Like, our heart knows what we want. Our heart is in touch with our passions and our purpose. And our mind is in touch with the logical, realistic understanding of how to maneuver forward, right? So when we have an alignment between the two, like we're just, even if it seems like things are moving slowly or things are uncertain, we can still chart our course. Let's say you're a sailor out to sea, but you got a good compass, right? Like a compass is a good metaphor for like a strong head-heart connection. Like you can chart your way. You still have to find your way, but the head-heart connection being strong helps you to sort of chart your way forward. Thank you, Gabby. I popped back on to say thank you, and you are mentioning White Buffalo Calf Woman, and she is the goddess energy working with me. Well, that is wonderful. She is a great energy. I haven't felt her energy personally, but this quote of hers always resonates for me. But she is very beautiful, and I know it's a very special experience to have her work with you. So, yeah, I don't know. It's wanting to make me tear up almost. But yeah, yeah, she is very special. Yeah, but I don't know. Thank you. So I hope that that's helpful. We've got like 20-ish seconds left. Lima, if you had any final burning thoughts or questions, and then I think I might wrap up the live stream. Thank you. You have a good day as well. A great day. Yeah, that's what you're going to do. Like, you know, like you've got that energy of perseverance. That's what I see coming up for the next month. Right. You weren't planning on stopping, and you're not going to be stopping. Yeah. You know, sometimes when we ask our spirit guides, like, you know, we want to get a more profound or like dramatic answer or something, and then we get something like, you're going to persevere, you know, and it's like, okay, thanks for letting me know I'm going to persevere. Like, but anyway, I hope that the reading was helpful regardless. I would look up, though, the head-heart connection, like, and White Buffalo Calf Woman's quote, if you can, if you're interested. But that does feel like an important part of the message as well, like understanding that your head-heart connection is going to be very strong, which is nice, because it's not a natural state for most humans to be in, actually. So when you do have a strong connection between head and heart, it's like, it is something that you should be proud of, like to be able to get in alignment like that. It's not easy to get in that alignment, and it's also not easy to maintain it. But it does feel to me like you're maintaining it for the month ahead, that head-heart connection. Okay, so it's already the energy you've been in. Well, I mean, I would say that that's a confirmation, A, that you're on the right path. You know, which is interesting because one of the stories I've heard about White Buffalo Calf Woman, it was from this woman who, she was walking through the woods and she didn't know which way to go. And all of a sudden, and she didn't really have an awareness so much of White Buffalo Calf Woman, but White Buffalo Calf Woman appeared to her in the middle of the woods. This woman was trying to literally find her way. She was trying to find her direction in the woods. And she asked White Buffalo Calf Woman, which way should I go? And White Buffalo Calf Woman said, you make your path by walking it. So I feel like she might be also trying to connect with you and tell you, you are making your path. You already have been. It's a confirmation. You're looking for direction. You're looking for a road sign. You're already on the right path. And you will continue to be for at least the next month. So that's beautiful. That's wonderful. Harshini, if you're still here, you can have, yeah. So I would say that's a great kudos from spirit guides. And it feels like maybe, you know, like White Buffalo Calf Woman might be a spirit guide for you as well, you know. But anyways, Harshini, yes, you can ask your question. I gave a free reading at the beginning of the live stream, and I'll give a free reading at the end of the live stream. So after your reading, that'll be it for today. So go ahead and ask your question and you'll get a freebie, because I don't think you've gotten a freebie before. So we'll do first reading of the live stream free and last reading free. I was inspired to do that by the Spud Brothers, the Spud Bros, if you all know who that is. They have a food stand where they sell potatoes with different toppings, and like they give the first and last customer of the day a free spud. Harshini, did you want to ask your question? I'm letting you ask for free, and then I'm closing out the live stream. You're very welcome, Mystic Panda. I hope that it helped. Harshini, are you here? If you don't answer soon, I'm going to give the free reading to somebody else. Well, does anyone, we have 2 people watching. Does anyone watching want the final free reading? Claim the final reading if you'd like. Just leave me a comment here in the live chat. Let me know what you want to ask. If nobody wants the final free reading, then, you know, that's fine too. I'm going to be a little patient though. It's like, this feels like at the end of a workout when you do the cool down. We're in the cool down of the live stream. It says nobody's watching right now, so I don't know. It could be that it's glitching again. I don't know. I hope not. I wonder if this ever happens to the Spud Brothers, the Spud Bros. Nobody is there to get the final Spud. Hello, I'm giving one final free reading. The last reading of the day is free. Whoever is watching, if you want to claim it, you just got to let me know in the live chat. Final reading is free. This is the last reading of the day. Oh, it looks like nobody wants it. That's fine. Might give it to myself. Give myself the final reading. Hello, if anyone watching wants to claim the last reading, I give the last reading and the first reading of every live stream free. So you can get the last reading for free. You just have to claim it by saying something to me in the live chat, letting me know what you want to ask about. So I don't know if people are saying something, but I can't see anything in the live chat. So it could just be that YouTube is glitching again. At this point, I'm not going to restart the live stream though, because I've already had to do it multiple times. So it might just be, it's a signal to let the live stream end if I don't hear from somebody. Oh, hi, Mara. It says you wrote something and then retracted it. So I guess people can still... Okay, you'll claim it. Okay, that's fine. Girl, that's fine. What did you want to ask about? Advice on school. Can you be a little bit more specific? Okay, it's hard sometimes, and I guess I was just wondering, how can I make it through? I'm in cosmetology school. Okay. Let's see. How can she make it through? Well, we've got the Queen of Wands. This has to do with sort of creative talent or artistic talent for one thing. I do feel like so the first thing your guides are saying is that this is something that it does feel like you really like or enjoy. We also have the Knight of Cups, but then there's the Five of Wands and the King of Pentacles. I think you like the creative aspect of it, but it could be that other aspects of it you don't like. So how can you manage that? If you're attracted to the creative or artistic aspect of it, but not to other aspects of it. I feel like they're saying, you know, like you're going to get to the point where most of what you're doing is the part that you enjoy, right? Like, so some of the things that you're having to go through while you're in school are the aspects of the process that you don't like. But like once you get past that, what you get to focus on is like, you know, like being creative, like interacting with your clients, giving them a service that makes them happy, you know what I mean? And also it brings you a sense of happiness and satisfaction. We have the Nine of Cups, the Page of Cups, and the Six of Cups. I guess they're saying like one way to get through it is just reminding yourself of the pot of gold at the end of the rainbow, so to speak. And what that pot of gold represents to you is like being able to do something that you truly love and that brings joy to other people as well. Let me see what else I can channel for you also. I feel like also a benefit of this profession for you is maybe the way that you get to do your scheduling. Like I feel like the scheduling gets to work for you. I don't know if this is answering your question, but like this is just what I'm picking up. Like the scheduling is going to be to your benefit. Like you're going to be able to get the hours and the days to work that work for you. I do also feel like you'll get good tips. I really feel like they're basically saying like you kind of have to, yeah, tips are nice, but yeah, I mean, I feel like basically they're saying like to keep yourself motivated through cosmetology school, you kind of have to think of like the good things that you will be blessed with at the end of it. Yeah. So I don't know what else to say. Is there anything else to say to her about this? Like what else? Or if you have other questions, go ahead and ask. Anything else to say about how to cope with cosmetology school? I feel like they are acknowledging that, you know, a lot of the things that you're learning in cosmetology school, part of the frustration either might be like these are maybe not all techniques or approaches that necessarily appeal to you or that you would implement. And they're saying like you might have to learn it or demonstrate that you understand the technique or whatever. But that doesn't mean when you get out of school, like, you know, you can fine tune your own approach, right? Like you'll have more control of your own process when you get out of school. But while you are in school and your instructor or whoever is like, okay, I'm glad it's making sense. Like, I need you to show that you understand this particular technique or whatever. Like, sure, you have to do that for the moment in order to pass the class or whatever. But you don't have to approach it that way when you are finally in your profession, right? So that's just like another sort of like, understand that it gets better, like, but you have to jump over these hurdles in the meantime. You'll find a good clientele who is looking for the way that you do things, you know? Like you'll have a steady, you'll have lots of repeat clients as well. So yeah, it's like, yeah, you're stuck for now. You're kind of like chained to this experience of going through cosmetology school, but there's a definite light at the end of the tunnel. So yeah, that's all I'm getting as far as that question. That's good because I was also worried about the kind of clientele. Yeah, you will have clientele that vibes with you. You're going to naturally attract, I mean, you know, realistically, it doesn't mean you're going to love every client you get. Like that, life doesn't work that way, but like you will attract lots of repeat clients who your approach is what they're looking for, basically. Like that's going to be the majority of your experience. I get the strength card, like you give the results that these people are looking for. Yeah, you make people feel beautiful, right? Yeah, so like trust your instincts, but like you have your own instincts, as I've already said. But like in the meantime, yeah, you have to jump over the hurdles of doing what's required of you in the classes and all that. So we've still got like 3 minutes if you wanted to ask anything else. Yeah, I love it for you. I was raised primarily by my aunt, my mom's sister, and she was a beautician. I don't know specifically what, I think you may have mentioned this before, but again, my memory sucks. So I don't remember specifically what type of cosmetology profession you're going into, but okay, what's next for you? We have the 8 of Wands. I do feel like there's a lot going on, or like life is very active. 8 of Wands and 8 of Cups. It's kind of like there's a lot going on, and because of that, you kind of have to pick and choose what you want to focus on, because it would be too much to do it all, but there's lots of activity. There's lots going on. It's like maybe we have to sort of like be smart about how to schedule. Like I can't schedule it all. I can't do it all, but like there's a lot going on. So some of it just has to be left to the wayside, so to speak. But I would say overall, it looks like a positive energy, like positive opportunities, busy in a good way, busy in a way that makes you feel happy. We have the World card. Yeah, but there will be moments when you have to choose, like, right? Like, what if there are 2 things that are happening on the same day and you want to go to both of them, but you're kind of you'll have to choose, and so that part of it won't be great. But you know, I feel like your spirit guides are saying, like, keep perspective here, because you're still like, it's with that World card, like you're gonna be having a good time. So like, yeah, we can't go to 2 events that are happening at the same time, for example, but you'll be making good choices about how you use this very active period of your life, and it will be good for you. Yeah, it feels also like your energy feels very grounded coming up with this Ace of Pentacles and the King of Pentacles. Like you're feeling solid, you're feeling stable, you're feeling secure. Like a strong, healthy root chakra. Yeah, it kind of feels like you're like trusting in the flow of life, basically, which is very nice. Even though it will be frustrating at times having to choose between, you know, I want to do this thing and that thing, but I have to choose. But, you know, so that's that's mostly what I'm getting. Lots of activity, but having to pick and choose what we go to. Yeah, so we've got 20 seconds left, and the timer's about to go off. I've got to pee again. It's because I drink too much coffee. Oh, I'm excited. Thank you for your time and energy. You're very welcome. All right, timer's going off now. Thank you for everyone who showed up today. I will see you next time. Bye, guys.